knowing that the markets are overvalued, that we're at all-time highs, just locking in some of those gains and putting it into a protected vehicle to help them get through a couple of years so when the markets crash, they can take income from a protected source while they allow their other accounts to recover. Welcome to How to Retire on Time, a show that answers your retirement questions. Say goodbye to the oversimplified advice. This show's about getting into the nitty-gritty so you can determine what is right for you. My name is Mike Decker. I'm a fiduciary financial advisor, and with me is my associate, David Franson. As always, text your questions to 913-363-1234, and we'll feature them on the show. David, what do we got today?
Hey, Mike, I've got a great portfolio and don't want to sell any of it. How do you build a retirement plan around a portfolio without selling anything?
Yeah, this is a very common situation, I should say.
Okay.
And let me talk to you through it with an analogy. You ever hear about the experiment with how to trap a monkey? Actually,
Oh,
let me ask you this:
okay.
Do you want to know how to trap a monkey? Do you want to know how to catch a monkey?
Are bananas involved?
Yeah, not really, actually.
Okay.
Not sometimes, but
All right. It's very
s-
cliche of me.
yeah.
Sorry to all the monkeys
How
out
how
there.
dare you? That's not
Yeah.
politically correct. All the monkeys are offended.
Yeah.
So, how to trap a monkey? What you do is you create like you in a coconut or some sort of thing. You put something that they want in some sort of container, but if they hold it, their fist is now too big. They can't
Oh, right.
let go.
Yes.
Okay, and so what you do is they'll grab onto it. They won't let go, and so they'll just sit there because they're unwilling to let go, and that's how you trap monkeys. And you can walk up
Mm.
to them and like do it like it's kind of a crappy situation. But
Yeah.
monkeys, they won't let go of the thing that they want, regardless of the risk that it puts them in.
Okay. Yeah. So voluntarily, through their own desires, they've reached through, they've grabbed it, and they, even though they know that they'd have to let go to get their hand back out, they're unwilling to.
Yeah.
So they're stuck.
Yeah. And so why is this important? Why am I giving the analogy?
Yeah.
Let's just talk about the market for just a moment, okay?
right.
We have very similar conditions to 1999, 1998, 1999. What are those? Markets are overvalued. You can look at the price earnings ratio or Shiller's price earnings, as it's been nicknamed. It's CAPE. You can look it up. Capital appreciation price earnings, I believe. Or no, cyclical. Anyway, it's
Yeah.
the Schiller PE. Look it up. It's predicted almost every significant flat market cycle in Americans' history.
Mm.
A flat market cycle is when you don't make any money for 10 years if you're invested in the stock market. Okay. We've got the US dollar decreased in value. We've got gold growing like exponentially. We've got oil going down in value and price as well. We've got a new industry, a new asset class that's never existed before called AI, kind of like in 1998, 1999, it was the dot-com. We've got all of these different situations. The Fed has neutralized inflation, but is looking at dropping the Fed rates a little bit here in the near future. We've got all of these. It's the conditions that trigger a potential flat market cycle. What if a flat market cycle were to hit?
Mm.
10 years of no growth in the market. When I say no growth, by the way, it's great growth and then a massive crash and then a recovery and then another massive crash. So 10 plus years point to point, there's no growth.
Yes.
And it was a wild roller coaster and you were not rewarded for it.
Mm.
Even with your dividends being reinvested, you've probably gone backwards. And so even after we've talked about how this is a historical pattern, that it happened in 2000, it happened in 1965, it happened in 1929, it happened in 1906, even though all the signs point to this probably probably going to happen again in the near future. Even though we've got the World Bank, we've had Goldman Sachs, we've had Morgan Stanley, we've had large companies saying, yeah, it could happen in the near future. All the signs point to the possibility of it. Even though Warren Buffett, the guy that everyone likes to quote and be like,
Yeah.
is in massive amounts of cash in preparation for this. People are still saying, well, I don't want to sell my NVIDIA stock. It's done too well. I don't want to sell my Palantir stock. It's done too well. I don't want to sell my Apple. It's grown great over the last 10 years. I can't sell Amazon. It's a great company. It's grown so much over the next 10 years.
Mm.
And in those situations, many people struggle to realize that they're the monkey holding onto the thing that they won't let go despite the risk it puts them in.
Yeah.
Yes, those stocks have done a great job helping you get rich. But what happens when the markets go over? They fall down 50%. Those stocks are subject to cyclical crashes. Those stocks are subject to recessions and depressions. Those stocks are subject to not making as much money.
Yeah, isn't it Amazon that sort of went gangbusters and then lost like 90% of its value, and then it's come up? I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's
Yeah.
a more stable company today.
Yes.
So it might not lose 90%, but it could lose 50%.
Mm.
It could lose 30%. That's still a tough pill to swallow when your job isn't to get rich anymore. When you're in retirement, your job is to stay rich.
Mm.
But we focus so much on, well, I want to just wait another couple of months, timing the market, just a little bit more growth, not realizing that if the markets do turn over, it could delay their retirement. I'm not saying you sell all of your stocks. I'm saying is at some point you start locking in those gains, pay the capital gains if it's in your brokerage account, or just reposition your IRA assets, your retirement accounts, and put it into safer investments like buffered ETFs, like structured notes. And by the way, those two are the ones where you can't lose money. There are buffered ETFs where you can lose money. There are structured notes where you can lose money. I'm talking about the safer ones, the more modest ones. Yes, the ones that don't make you as much money, but they help you keep your money.
That's the big difference here.
That's the huge difference. Fixed index annuities, the ones that are focused on cash growth that don't have fees, can help you grow your money. Okay? So as in you don't lose your money. It's this idea that, I mean, at least you've got, most people I think have this in them. Most people are smart enough to realize, yeah, I should probably not be this concentrated in this few amount of positions. Or maybe I shouldn't have this much in the portfolio or in these stocks. Maybe I should, but not today. Let's do it next month. Let's do it next year. I just want a little bit more out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see how the emotions can betray people?
Right. And it's okay if you're really young, right? Hey, I'm staying all in on stocks because I need to grow it and I've got time to recover. But when you're depending on your portfolio for your income because you're not working anymore, let's protect that.
Yeah. When you're young, you want to have enough cash on hand so that in a recession or depression, which can happen, you have enough to get you through. If you get fired, you have enough to float you through the next job.
Right. Good point.
But you don't need 5 years of income.
Right.
That's where that comes in, like the 6 months of income just on the side to get you through the next potential firing, which happens in market crashes. But it's different. When you're in retirement and you need income for your portfolio, how do you structure it and where do you go when the markets go down? And keeping all your assets in the high growth stocks isn't necessarily what you maybe want to do or ought to do. You got to be careful with these sorts of things.
What if you've like inherited some stocks and there's like just purely sentimental value? Can people let go of those or?
Yeah. Can you afford the luxury of passing those on to your kids? So if you earned enough that you don't need to touch it, and many people do, then you can put it into the part of your portfolio that you plan to never touch. That's the legacy portfolio. If you need the money, okay, then at some point you're going to have to accept that your inheritance gave you the ability to retire on time or whatever made sense to you, but you're going to need to start selling them to enjoy them. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't enjoy, I mean, a classic example are things like Chevron stock or a Coca-Cola stock or these old classic positions. Okay. At some point, you'll need to either sell them or maybe you have a dividend strategy, but you got to know how you're using them and do they make sense? Are they competitive? Maybe you just need a little bit more growth in your portfolio to get the life that you want. And maybe the inherited stock doesn't pay a dividend. So you're going to have to take income from the growth. Or maybe the dividend just isn't competitive anymore because the stock isn't competitive anymore. So you have to understand what you're receiving and what you're giving up in these trades. It's not just trades in the market, it's also trades in life. To get something, you've got to give something up. You've got to understand what that is. And so all things considered, when it comes to really broaching this topic, don't be the monkey that's stuck. Markets are up right now, at least at the time of this recording. Markets are at all-time highs. All the indicators suggest that at some point we could roll into a flat market cycle, which would start with a 50% crash. Would you be okay risking that? I mean, really? A lot of people risked it in 1998, 1999, thinking, oh, I've got a few more years. Oh, everyone says it's going to crash, but it hasn't crashed. They must be wrong. They create echo chambers that allow them to rationalize the behavior that isn't necessarily best for them. It's just prolonging the thing that they need to do. It's procrastination. And those are the people that typically get hurt in these situations. Now, am I predicting the market's going to crash next month? No. It could crash next month. It could crash next year. It could crash in 5 years. We don't know. But starting to put enough of your assets, so at least the first 5 years of your retirement are protected, and there's different ways you can do this and still have growth in the market and growth potential and all of that. But starting to lock in those gains is the healthy thing to do, whether you'll acknowledge that or not. What do you think, David? Any last thoughts?
No,
I mean, doing the healthy thing, how hard is that?
The healthy thing's not always easy, but I have found that like the idea of eating like a really healthy meal, like just some like rice, broccoli, chicken breast, it doesn't sound very good in the beginning. Like, I guess I'll just do it. But once I'm eating it, I'm like, actually, this is pretty good. I don't know if that translates at all
You
here.
feel better.
But I feel better. Like, man, that like eating that meal felt really good.
Yeah, it's a great analogy. If you diet and exercise, you feel better long term.
Mm-hmm.
If you eat like crap, you feel better in the moment, but there's a price to pay.
Right.
The same is right now. And this is my big warning to everyone that's whether you're saving for retirement or not, is be ready for whenever the next market crash hits. I don't know when. No one can predict the market, but timing the market is not advantageous for you. Please heed these words of caution. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Make sure that you like and subscribe first, and then go to www.retireontime.com to grab a copy of my book, How to Retire on Time, take a few courses about retirement, join my newsletter, and so much more. Now, if you want to work with one of our advisors here at Kedrick Wealth, who can help you put together a retirement plan that's designed to last longer than you, just click the button, Get Started. Everything we do is intended to help you retire on time. We hope you enjoy, and we'll see you in the next show.